Hey guys, Chris from Propel here, and many of you guys have been really excited about the Bosch Generation 4 motors, and I've been really excited about them as well. They made a lot of really nice improvements, and I have something really exciting to share in relation to them today, and it's actually some further improvements available for those specific motors. We've been invited to this online live stream, and I'm going to share some clips of that, which was presented by Klaus Fleischer, who's actually the founding member of the Bosch e-bike systems team, and I'm excited to be presenting some of this information to you guys through this platform of the videos. By default, these new motors that are going to be produced are going to carry all these changes, but the great thing about all this is that all these improvements are going to be backwards compatible just using a software update. That's one of the really nice things about Bosch specifically, is we have this software system that we can connect to a bike, and we can provide diagnostic reports and get a lot of details onto the usage and if anything's going wrong with it. But beyond that, particularly relevant to today's conversation, we can update the software on the bike, and it can change the characteristics of the motor system and battery, etc. So this update today is specifically about the torque and the characteristics of the motors. The Bosch Generation 4 motor, which is available in several different variations. You have the Performance Line CX, Performance Line Speed, you have the Cargo Line and the Cargo Line Speed. All of those had a standard 75 Newton meters of torque. But with a software update, which should be available in the next couple of weeks, you can up the torque on the system to 85 Newton meters, and pretty nice bump. And I've always found that these new motors, they do have a good amount of torque, but some people had challenges maybe in like lower cadence support, and that's another improvement that will come with this higher torque rating.
For model year 21, we will provide even more torque with a software update. This will enable the drive unit to speed riders with a torque of 85 Newton meters. And this ensures a more powerful and dynamic riding sensation, which is evident when riding with low cadences. High speeds can be achieved quickly, and long distances can be covered effortlessly.
But there's also some changes just in the way the motor system performs. I think some people had some challenges in some lower cadences where you felt like maybe it wasn't given as much power right away, and it's really trying to optimize for efficiency and making sure that the system is really protecting itself, it's not putting unnecessary strain, etc. Because not everybody's so comfortable like switching to the lowest gear and switching to the gears very quickly, which is something that you'll generally find on an electric bike. But if you don't want to switch the gears too much, having that extra torque and having that low cadence support is going to be really helpful. So that's very exciting. And the way that it's delivered and the way that experience is delivered on the different bikes is going to be a bit different. So another really important improvement that I've kind of been a bit critical over before was the Cargo Line system. I found that under lower cadence starting out, you generally didn't have as much power, particularly if you didn't have much load on your bike. So if you're a lighter rider, you're riding with a Cargo Line, the system feels like maybe you don't need that much power. This new update is going to change that a bit more. Historically, we've actually been recommending that we take the Cargo Line motors and actually change the software to adapt to either the CX or the Speed, since the hardware is the same. With this new update, I think that's a lot less necessary. I think that these motors will perform a little bit more as expected for families specifically, or others that might be finding themselves on a bike with the Cargo Line systems.
Our drive system for e-cargo bikes, the Cargo Line, is also receiving an increase of power. The drive unit is available in two versions, with a support up to 25 kilometers per hour, or for the Cargo Line Speed up to 45 kilometers per hour. Our software update will not only benefit cargo bikers with a stronger torque of up to 85 Newton meters, they will also experience more dynamic support. The motor provides even more powerful support in low cadences. This eases uphill starts and acceleration when transporting heavy loads.
Specifically on mountain bikes with e-mountain bike mode, those are going to be different than some of the other models, because the e-mountain bike mode specifically They wanted to improve the system in the way that it performs in this low-speed technical handling. So for those of you that mountain bike, I'm sure you find yourself sometimes in these really technical situations and you want to pedal just a little bit to get yourself through a rocky situation, but without putting your crank arm all the way down. You might hit a rock or something like that. This new software update is going to improve that characteristic, because some systems, they work in such a way that you just put pressure on the pedal and it provides assistance. But that's not so ideal, and Bosch has always been under the mindset, like, let's make it safer. You know, I'm sure everybody wants more power all the time, but really we need to start first with just having a very safe system. So they don't really have the ability that, you know, just putting pressure on the pedal is going to provide support. However, now with this new update, you don't really have to move the pedals too much. It used to be almost like a quarter turn before you can actually really start getting that power. Now it's a little bit less, so you can find yourself just doing a half or a quarter pedal crank to get yourself through those tougher riding scenarios. And that, coupled with the low cadence support, really helps, because I know I found myself doing that, especially even if I was riding with a non-electric bike. You know, you try to just pedal a little bit, just kind of do these like half pedal steps, so you're not dropping your pedal all the way down where your clearance is probably going to be an issue in these scenarios. Instead, you're just kind of pumping it back and forth just to get yourself through that, and then you can pedal normally. And that's just going to extend the standard functionality of that normal E-mountain bike mode, where it has this more dynamic range to it, and that's the intention. And supposedly there's some more improvements.
The update offers e-mountain bikers even more riding dynamics, agility, and intuitive handling on trails. In order to achieve this, we first of all increased the torque to 85 Newton meters. This ensures faster and more powerful acceleration, especially at low cadences. Moving off on steep ascents is made significantly easier. The performance upgrade offers full power over a broad cadence range. This enables to master unpredictable riding situations even more effectively. For example, in the case of late gear shifting or accelerating out of tight corners. Riding remains very smooth, even when in turbo mode, pedaling strong while standing. We have also taken the E-MTB mode to the next level. In the progressive riding mode, motor support adapts to the individual riding style depending on the pedal pressure. The software update further refines this mode. New sensor and motor control functions now provide even more dynamic and natural support in an extended cadence range. This ensures a more natural and dynamic riding sensation. The extended boost, as a new feature of the e-mountain bike mode, ensures improved performance in challenging sections on trails. This helps e-mountain bikers to surmount exposed routes, steps and stones even uphill. The system responds by applying the right pressure to the pedal in any given situation. In a fraction of a second, it provides a dynamic push to surmount an obstacle. The software update provides maximum riding enjoyment on the trail.
Well, I'm really excited to be talking about this system, but really, I don't think that I could adequately communicate it without riding it. So I talked to my friend Brian at Bosch, and he actually said that he's going to be able to give me an early release of this software, that we can set it up on a couple of our demo bikes. So we're actually going to go drive some bikes over to them in Lake Forest from Long Beach, update them, and test them out, and I'll give you some more thoughts. So we just got to the Bosch headquarters, and Brian's actually doing a training to all the tech reps throughout the country that they represent the different dealers in the different territories. And he's just showing them more about the update, helping them understand how to use it, and helping them to support the dealers to provide this update as it rolls out. He's going to actually perform the updates on our bikes as he does the training, kind of killing two birds with one stone. So we'll just show a little bit of that going on and get to riding, which I'm really looking forward to. Well, we got the bikes back from Bosch yesterday, and today we're going to take them out for a bit of a longer ride so I can give a little bit more detailed thoughts about what my experience is on them. I'll tell you, really riding them, I did definitely notice a difference. I mean, a lot more power, lower down on the speed motor, more power with lower cadence, which I really appreciate. You know, sometimes when riding in the city, you don't want to be spinning all the time, you're just kind of cruising. And definitely noticed more power there. And in the cargo line specifically, definitely a lot more of that off the line power, which a lot of people were hoping for. And previously I was saying, you know, you should switch to the CX or the performance line speed, but I don't really think it's as necessary with this new update. And I wrote it loaded a little bit, and I did notice with that even, there's definitely a lot more torque in that way. So that's definitely something to consider. Overall, I think it's definitely an update you're going to want to get when you can. I know, as I said before, the logistics might be a little bit challenging, but definitely the way to go, and I'm excited for what Bosch continues to deliver. I also really respect the way that they're handling this. I mean, you think about it, sure, they probably could have released just 85 Newton meters from the beginning, but then they could have experienced what some other motor systems are experiencing, with they're having failures all the time. You know, my experience, the Bosch system, it very rarely fails ever, and that's one of the reasons why we're so heavy with representing products that use the Bosch system, because for me, reliability is one of the most paramount factors in choosing a motor system, because there's so many systems out there that just don't have that reliability factor, and I think it's so critical, and I really respect that taking this more prudent approach of saying, okay, let's start with 75 Newton meters. It's still, you know, a pretty significant amount of power. And as we see, you know, everything's performing well, the motor system's holding up well, we can read some more of this performance data and handling characteristics, and then we can decide maybe we can make some additional performance improvements. And that's what they're doing, and making it available through software updates. So that's really great. So for many of you that already have a Generation 4 Bosch motor, you might be wondering, how am I going to take advantage of this software update? You know, well, one, you can go to your local Bosch e-bike shop. Now, there is a dealer locator on the Bosch website. We'll put the link below so you can check that out. If you're local to us in Long Beach or Brooklyn, we can certainly set something up. I know a lot of shops, you got to keep in mind, we made a lot of changes based on COVID, and as well as, you know, maybe the demand, and so this might be something that gets pushed out a little bit, and I'm not sure the exact date that this is going to be released at this point, but I think we're about a couple weeks, sometime in July we should be seeing this. You know, just reach out to us, we'll set something up, or, you know, maybe help you find some spot that can do it for you if need be. And you know, we're really always happy to help. I think that this is going to be a really nice improvement on the current system, which is already great. So I really like the direction that things are going. And if you have any questions, comments, experiences you want to share, leave them in the comments below. And I look forward to seeing you in a future video. Well, see you soon.